read the books on Ayurveda, the original manuscripts, they say that Ayurveda is an eternal science, something which neither has a beginning nor has an end, something which helps you understand the value of life, that helps you live life in the most harmonious way possible. It's one of the most ancient medical systems that had its provable roots, something that you can prove, something that you can go back to around 5,000 years back. Those were the times when the most ancient manuscript was written, called Rig Veda. Ayurveda is a wisdom of day-to-day life. It is not something that we go to when we need to. It is very practically accessible because its foundation is health. And the definition of health is so elaborate, is so holistic in Ayurveda. It is in the foods that you choose. It is in the colors that you choose to wear. It is in how you arrange your life. It's how you arrange your furniture. It's how you arrange every single thing that is a part of your life, both within and outside. But the simplest of the ways that we can access it is through our lifestyle and diet. The basic foundation of Ayurveda is based on 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And these 5 elements and their interplay, their dance, their rhythm, their combination, their ratio, that is what comprises each and every fragment of this universe. And we can go into the details of how does it becomes a part of the electrons and the nucleus and their forces, their kinetic energy, their potential energy, their force of cohesion, the atomic mass, how each one of them actually relates to Ayurveda. But if we understand this, we also understand that every food item that we eat is basically nothing but a fragment, or its basic structure is these 5 elements, and so is ours. So every single thing is made up of these 5 elements. And if I have an understanding that what is my individual constitution based on the understanding of these 5 elements, and what is the constitution of the food that I'm eating, and what is the constitution of the day, what cycle of the day I'm eating it, what season it is, what part of the world I am in, all these things fit together like a jigsaw. It may sound something very difficult or something very difficult to comprehend, but it is so simple. When you look at a food item, you can easily, very simply say that the most evident element in it is water or fire or ether or earth and air. The only thing that is required is understanding of my own self. That individualization of each being is based on a principle called dosha. The literal meaning of the word dosha basically means out of harmony. Now that would make you think, why are we thinking about being out of harmony? That is what the word dosha means. It means something at fault, something out of harmony, something out of sync. So it's a very interesting concept in Ayurveda. It is interesting because it considers that everything comes from this perfect balance. A place where there is so much union that in everything there is nothing. When in that state of nothingness, in that state of union, perfect harmony, the ripple of energy moves through it and creates this separation. And that separation goes through certain attributes and qualities and diversification, and finally brings us the 5 elements. When those 5 elements combine in a ratio and combination, for example, the earth and the water combine to form something called kapha, where kapha means to nourish, to grow, to nurture, to spread out. And the water and the fire combine to form pitta, where pitta means to cook, to metabolize, the passion. the focus, the concentration, the sharpness, the intelligence, the fire. And the next one is the air and the ether, which is called vata, where vata means to move, to channelize, to mobilize. So Ayurveda believes that this nomenclature, this diversification, this isolation is a state of disharmony of this perfect balance. So that is called dosha. But on the other hand, this is also considered your perfect balance. So a very simple thing that any person can do is when you wake up in the morning, start your day by drinking about 6 to 8 ounces of heated warm water. Possibly add few drops of lemon or lime juice in it. That first glass of water in Ayurveda is called drinking the nectar. This is a tongue scraper and it's made up of copper. What it does is it scrapes the toxins that come from the tongue, over the tongue. Now, the toxins that come on the surface of the tongue are the microtoxins that cannot be further broken down by the action of liver. So the whole body gives up. It says that I cannot process it any further. And because of the gravity, how we sleep, they slowly travel up through the food pipe on the tongue. Because the body says, I cannot metabolize it any further. I cannot push it out through defecation, urination, sweating in any possible ways. Take them out for me. And this is also a very simple test for any person to see how are they doing with their diet. When you wake up in the morning, don't just clean your tongue. Open up your mouth and watch your tongue. Don't just clean your teeth. And observe, do you see any yellow accumulation? Do you see any white accumulation? Do you see any green accumulation? Do you see that there is stickiness in the mouth? Is your mouth dry? Is it bitter? Observe these tastes because these are all indicative, these are all parameters to your health. And this is the clarified butter, ghee. This substance, this clarified butter, is considered one of the finest things that you can give to your digestive system to activate your digestive fire. This is the simplest thing that you can do to balance the air element in your body. This is the simplest thing that you can do to clean the water and the earth element out of your body. Very simple 3 things, accessible to anyone, everyone, and very practical to do. This is a neti pot, just a nasal drainage pot which helps you clean your sinuses. Now this is a simple way in which we understand it, but it is not just about these sinuses. There are millions of micro glands in your nasal passage which have a direct effect on your nervous system. And when these glands get veiled or they get covered by mucus or by dryness, then you cannot sense things so much better because the entire nervous system is affected. And all we do is soak some water in this pot overnight, distilled filtered water overnight. Next morning, warm this water up by putting it in another vessel and then put it back, just lukewarm. Just comfortable warm, but heated warm, not room temperature. And then you add salt. How much salt you should add? In about 500 ml of water, about 1/4 teaspoon. Regular salt, iodized salt, there are specialized neti salts available these days, so it's something very accessible. And you mix in it, and then you turn your head on any one side and you allow the spout to gently come to closer to one nostril, and the water comes out from the other nostril. When it comes out from the other nostril, because it's saline, it's salty water, through reverse osmosis, it pulls out the toxins from the inner mucosa and it cleanses the sinuses. But on the other hand, it activates the entire nasal passage. We have done every possible thing that we could do in our capacity, in our intelligence to find health. And all we found was that we have to come back. We have to come back to basics. We have to come back to our roots. We have to come back to ourselves. That is the only way we can find solution. And that is what I feel that people are realizing. No matter, it has nothing to do with West or East. It has to do with human beings. That no matter where we are, we have to choose the path back home. We have to choose the path back to ourselves. Nothing has the greatest power to heal but yourself. Connect to yourself. Connect to your mind. Listen. Open up your eyes. Namaste.